Oh no.
Missing.
Greg?
Missing.
I thought this was a duet.
Missing.
Oh, so you're just gonna sing all the parts? Those are not the right sounds.
Missing.
Can you hear me?
Missing. Oh, missing.
Bonk.
Welcome to Missing. I'm Greg.
And I'm Tim. And this is a podcast that celebrates and appreciates the missed things of the past, present, and future.
Yeah, in every episode, we take a key moment from our Miss Things storied career and do what we're best at, which is make it all about us.
Okay, I told you this off pod, and I want to. Do you know what Khia Asylum?
The Khia Asylum. I was just Googling this the other day.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like the new thing on gay Twitter, which is like pop stars that are in the Khia Asylum, Khia Forum.
The Khia Forum Asylum. Yeah, in the moment, it took like a lot of like mental math to figure out what was going on.
I still don't know what the Khia part is, but I know. So for the
I think it's
Gennifer,
an artist.
Oh.
Yeah. But please explain it.
So for the Jennifers and the Inertias, Khia Asylum is like the new term for when like a pop star doesn't hit. So she goes to like jail almost until she like has a more relevant thing. So like currently Katy Perry is in the Khia Asylum.
She's locked away. Yeah.
And like Dua Lipa is that, and it's like, you know, Charlie XX just got out of the Khia Asylum.
Sure, yeah. They need, like, you get out when you have commercial success. So to what you just said,
yeah.
I saw, actually, I think Vulture did an article on, like, people that are in the Khia Asylum, and the cover is Dua, Katie, and then Gracie Abrams is half in, half out. And I respect Gracie. I think she's on her way out.
Yeah.
Given the monumental success of That's So True.
Yeah. Which we are a huge part of.
Which we made happen.
You're welcome, Gracie.
Of course, you're welcome, Gracie. I know you needed our help more than anyone's.
Yeah.
This is our New Year's, our last episode of 2024.
It's New Year's Eve, baby.
For old Miss Thing, my dear. For old Miss Thing. For Dodd, Mom Sauce, and Diva Down. Keep your eye on the grand old flag, bonk.
Wow, got political there at the end too. Is that a part of the real song?
No, but you know that keep your eye on the grand.
Yeah. I don't know.
To me, those sound like the exact same song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. There's something that my brain does when that New Year's Eve song comes on that I actually just completely zone out. I cannot take it in. But I did listen to yours.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I just saw Nosferatu.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, or as you know how I like to say, why is it always Nosferatu? Why is it never Yesferatu? Right away Sferatu. And I also think put some respect on his name. It should be Nosferatu Usted.
The funny thing is like that is a very funny joke of yours that somehow you do get a lot of mileage out of because Nosferatu doesn't, until this movie wasn't really in the culture.
Sure.
But somehow when you're around.
And I sort of beat it into your head. And
well,
you
it's a really
never
good joke.
laugh. Thank you.
It is
Yeah,
a good
you
joke.
say that. It's one of those things where you go, huh, that's funny.
Well, that's like very LA comedy.
Sure.
If something's really funny and you go, oh, that's funny.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah. And when you're laughing, it's not real.
No, it's more so that it's so smart, you know, that it is.
Totally.
And that's what you do best.
I appreciate that. Nosferatu, I actually really kind of liked it.
Is this your dot, or this isn't your dot?
No. But no, I just wanted to quickly, Lily Rose Depp.
Yeah.
Quite impressive. She's a really good physical actor. She's doing a lot of face work. She's like eyes rolling back in her head. Doing that, she's especially good at that.
Did you ever read
Bram Stokes?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
I took a Making Monsters class in college where we had to read it. And so I feel very like connected to the piece because I know all the names.
Sure. You feel like you're very like in Bram Stoker's sort of like on his side.
Yeah, I feel like Bram and me are like best friends.
That was actually your parents almost named you Bram.
Bram.
You look like a Bram.
That's the meanest thing you could ever say. I also feel like Bram, like people who are named Bram, like never age past the age of 2. Like it just feels so just like only terrible twos.
Sure. Yeah, they're struck down by the most like the most Victorian era disease.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, here lies Bram.
Here lies Bram. But yeah, it was really and I could never get the Johnny Depp comparison, but then I see the face work and I go, there's Johnny.
Wait, she's had face work or the work that she does with her face? No, it's
with the work that she does with her face. When she's talking, it's kind of like, okay, should we get into Dod Mom Sauce, Tim?
We should.
Yeah. So Dod Mom Sauce, aka Doll of the Day, Mother of the Moment, Sister of the Second, which is, of course, our segment where we talk about the person, place, or thing that we're currently super obsessed with.
I love that you, which rightfully so, were like leading me into it because I can never, these days, I never do the doll. I just do mother and sister.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Yeah. I need to get on my doll game.
Sure. And it's okay. You do what you feel. You're not, not feeling the doll.
Yeah, I just also don't want to step on your toes, It's like, I want to have my sister have her moment in the sun.
Sure. Sort of drive the car.
Drive the car.
I appreciate
Great movie
that.
I've never seen. What is it called?
Oh my God. Friend of the pod, Matt, was just bringing that up. He's like, oh, I finally watched Drive My Car or
Isn't
whatever.
it like 3 hours long?
It's longer than that.
And it's obviously not in English, so
it's
a commitment.
Endless. I've seen the first hour. Feels like 10. So do you have a Dod Mom Sauce?
Okay, so my Dod Mom Sauce is queen, legend, superstar, Pam, the fortune teller / psychic.
The famous, the one and only.
There's only one.
Pam. Well, there is another psychic in town, and that of course is me.
Oh,
the most skilled psychic.
Humming for Pam's job.
Of course, but I would never because I know she's so good at hers.
I mean, I will say this: she's kind of a legend in our friend group. Like last summer, she came to my friend Alex's bachelorette party, and just like all of us couldn't have been more in awe of this woman. She predicted so many things that have since come true. So last summer, she told me that I was a showgirl in a past life,
right.
In my 20s, in the 1920s, and that I and then I died in my late 30s. And I was like kind of a Rockette showgirl where it was like I was like farther down the stage and I always wanted to be center stage, but then I never got to be center stage, so I became like a drunk and did a lot of drugs and died too young. And so this life is me fulfilling my showgirl's unfulfilled life.
Yeah. Exhibit A. Here we are on this thing. You're going to throw me.
Yeah,
you're going to put some pearls under my feet, throw me down a flight of stairs to take center stage.
I'm not letting history repeat itself.
Sure, of course.
So I haven't seen her in 2 years. And at this party that my friend just had, she showed up. And then the first thing she says, we all sat, like we each had like a little moment with her in the like kitchen, at the kitchen table while the rest of the party is going on like in the living room. And the first thing she says to me is, I don't remember your name, but I do remember that you were a showgirl in a past life, and that when I see you, I see Art Deco, which is the other thing she told me, which is just so funny. Where I'm like, there is no way that this woman, 20 months later, can like remembers that, which is just crazy because
she has flashcards for sure.
Yeah,
under
I'm
the table.
Art Deco showgirl. Yeah,
but that I'm still not seeing. Yeah,
it's because it's my old self.
Sure, coming forth.
Yeah, but the one thing that she told me, which is like, listeners, get ready. She said that I'm either. This is actually, I can't believe I'm breaking this to you on the pod this way, but I'm moving to either Canada or London. Because there's going to be a BBC production, or what is the BBC in Canada, like CBC? CBC, where I'm basically going to be doing like a like mystery show that takes place in Portofino, but we're shooting it in either Canada or London.
It takes place in Portofino.
Yeah, and that Anthony doesn't have to worry. She spent a lot of time talking about how, like, Anthony and I's relationship would still be great, even though I'm now moving to London and or Canada. And then I'm going to experience a lot of success. So we're going to be a global pod next year.
Love that. Yeah. Where do I factor in?
She didn't get, I only had 20 minutes.
Maybe she was not talking about Anthony so much as she was talking about me.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. She did actually say, I didn't have to worry about my relationships in accordance to geography. So geography will not come into play.
Sure, this couch is going all over the world. To Portofino and back to Canada or London.
And she's never wrong. Granted, the things that she said to me have not necessarily come true, but a lot of it. Oh, wait, this is it, and then we're going to go to you.
Yeah.
This is the other reason, which is crazy. So she said, she goes, there's a woman in your past who loves mystery novels, and she goes, I'm getting... Oh, and then she just she was like Agatha Christie, as if it was like obviously the mystery novel auteur.
Yeah. You were Agatha Christie in a past life.
Okay, that's better. Okay. But she, I just finished reading an Agatha Christie book like the 3 days before that. That is cuckoo. First off, my grandma loved Agatha Christie.
Okay, whose grandma didn't?
Okay, maybe everyone's grandma. But
she was sort of like the James Patterson of her day. Who's my favorite author.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's your style icon, too.
Sure. Yeah.
Anyways, Greg, what is your Dad Mom sauce?
My original Dad Mom sauce was my cranberry curd tart, which I make for holiday events. Okay. It's sort of
I've never had it.
You definitely have.
Oh, I have?
Probably, because I've been making it maybe for like the last 4 years. Always a big hit.
I have not had this.
It's kind of like...
If I would remember if I had a curd.
You would love that. Yeah, because you love curd.
I love curd. I love cranberry.
But this thing is like a big hit, and that was going to be my Dad Mom sauce, but I was just getting a sandwich before I came here, and I have a new Dad.
Okay.
There was...
Tell us that mom sauce.
Yeah, I was close to the front of the line at this establishment. I had been waiting there. There were several people behind me, and I was like really, really ready to order. This elderly woman comes in. She's like waiting in her place and slowly like maneuvering up and up and up. She's elbow height, my elbow height. So at one point I kind of like nudge her because she's like suddenly in my space, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. So I move a little because she's standing like on top of me basically. Yeah. So I move a little bit and I like look at the the sandwich display case. All of a sudden she swoops in and takes my spot.
Icon.
An icon.
Yeah.
And I didn't even say anything. I was just kind of like, that's actually like the funniest thing I've ever seen, because like how it's actually like laughable. And the guy behind me starts going, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. And she goes, what? I was right here. She goes, that was my spot. And I go, wait, I get involved for one thing. I go, wait, that was absolutely not your spot. And she goes, oh, okay. And starts like moving back, and then goes like in front of the guy behind me who's saying something to her now. Yeah. And I'm just listening to this like exchange.
Okay.
This exchange, and she's like, what? I'm not sneaky. That was I was just looking at the display. And she kept like moving back one by one. But the absolute gall.
I love, it's very us coded in the sense of like to really stick to your gun and be like, I was here, and like be very indignant about it. And then the minute someone pushes back, you're like, you're right, I'm actually one behind. But you're right, I'm actually one behind.
Yeah, but it wasn't even that. It was like, oh yeah, okay. Like it was just kind of like, not, oh, you're right. It was like, oh,
I guess so.
I guess. Yeah. But to like just decide to walk up to the front of like a full line and just like think you're going to get away with it. That's the energy I'm personally trying to bring into 2025.
Oh, absolutely. Gennifer's and Inertias cut lines this year. Wait, I have a very important question. What sandwich did you get?
Oh my God, this is another thing. Dog Mom sauce, the person behind the counter. Because they have like a, so I was at Proof in Atwater.
Oh, okay.
And they have usually these like 4 sandwiches that they do for lunchtime. It's like a cheese sandwich usually, a salami, a prosciutto, and a veggie sandwich. So I was going to get the salami, but then today they had a focaccia sandwich.
Ooh.
And I had never seen it before. And I go, well, what do you prefer? The salami, which I never normally would get, but like the toppings are so good. I go, the salami or the other one? He goes, the salami I like more. He goes, but if it helps, like this one is seasonal. And he was like, but the salami. And I go, it does help. I'll take the seasonal. And I do wish I had the salami.
I love when you ask, I feel like people always call me out on this too. It's like when I'm sitting down at a restaurant and if I can't decide, I'll turn to the waiter and I'll say like, oh, well, what do you recommend? Like which one? And people think that that's so weird that I do that. And I'm like, why is that weird? They work here. They know what are the popular items.
Sure.
And I'm like, why do I get pushback in this? Because then people are like, just pick your own. And I'm like, Mom, excuse me.
I can't make a decision, babe.
And so I'm deferring to the very highly educated, skilled artiste on the other side here. Yeah.
Who, God willing, has good opinions about food. The thing is, when I used to work in restaurants, there was one, I don't think it was necessarily true for all of them, but there was one where you were not allowed to say.
Oh, really?
What your favorite thing was. So if you listen carefully, sometimes they say, well, the most popular dish is this, most popular, like a lot of people get this, but like sometimes if someone says like, oh, I like this, I have
been torturing waiters for years because I really hold their feet to the fire. I'm like, most popular, but what's your favorite?
Sure.
And they're like sweating. They're like full beads of sweat. And then they're like, this is our most popular dish. And I'm literally like, okay, but you're not leaving until you tell me what your favorite dish is.
Look, just listen to the words they're saying. Look, see if they're blinking twice.
Yeah.
You know, like some places you're not allowed to say it. Some are more forthright. They're forthcoming about like what they actually feel and think. I don't
like when a waiter is so like, this is good, but also this is good, and also this is good, and also if you like this is good. It's like, okay, well, that was not helpful at all.
Or the worst kind of waiter. This is how you know if they're like a bad waiter.
Okay.
The more expensive thing.
Oh.
Always. And you say this or this, and they do the more expensive. And then you ask another, this or this, the more expensive.
Wow, you're actually giving me such good... I've literally never even thought about that. I've been walking through this life.
Yeah. There's 3 kinds of waiters in this world.
Okay, what are they?
The honest and the brave. The scared shitless.
Yeah.
And the just there to make money.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think I would be... Is there a hot and dumb category? That would be, that's me.
Actually, there is definitely that brand. Yeah, in Los Angeles, for sure.
The only kind in LA. With that, should we take a break?
Yeah. We're back, and it is time for our Miss Thing of the Year. Not just Miss Thing, just not any old Miss Thing. The Miss Thing that made...
Of all 52 weeks, this is the biggest Miss Thing we have done yet.
Certainly the biggest impact on the culture. And
we've been building to it. We're gonna put you out of your misery, and we're gonna tell you right now that the Miss Thing of the Year is us.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's clear.
I mean,
our impact.
Yes,
Imagine 2 gay guys starting a podcast in 2024.
Yes.
Has anyone else started a podcast in 2024?
No.
No, you don't need to answer that because the answer is no.
Yeah.
Nothing relevant, at least.
Nothing that is going to make you feel this good, make you laugh, provide you comfort.
Yeah. Nothing that will make you feel this informed. as we do. Talking about the Khia Asylum.
Yeah.
Maybe a full year after it first debuted on the internet.
Yeah.
And that's the type of work we're doing.
Here, the hard work.
Yeah.
But also on a rare, earnest, serious note, it's like my Miss Thing of the Year is you. Because it's like you are. Oh.
Oh, you wrote it all down on your hand.
No, but I have my hand has so much ink on it as if I did, but I don't.
That's your famous thing when it comes to talking about me. You have to write your notes on your hand.
No, but there's wait, the notes aren't there. Uh-oh. No, but like literally, I can't imagine doing this podcast with anyone else. You make me laugh so hard to an extent that like everyone else is like, I wish Tim would laugh as hard as Greg makes me laugh. The talent that you have in just your little pinky toe is more than most people. So like, of course you're my Miss Thing of the Year.
Oh my God. And same. I could not imagine doing a podcast with anyone else. You are so funny to me in the sort of, that's funny type LA way, which you claim is nice. You are the Nosferatu to my Lily Rose Depp.
Wow. There's no higher honor.
Yeah. Truly, we started this and I think, okay, we have to do this every single week. And every single week, it's a joy.
I couldn't do this with anyone else. Like, it's genuinely, like, brings me so much happiness, and it's literally all because of you. So I'm so happy. You are my Miss Thing of the Year.
And you are my Miss Thing of the Year.
But I have to make it about myself,
you know? Sure, of course.
Things where I'm kind of like, okay, enough about you.
Yeah, no. I mean, ultimately...
I'm my own Miss Thing of the Year. But thinking of... This is like a really tough one to make about myself. But so I was thinking about you. And I was thinking about one of the things that I love most about you is your music taste. Excellent music taste. And we have seen many festivals together. We've gone to a concert together. And one of those concerts we went to was last year. We went to the SZA concert.
This is so crazy. That was going to be my story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to see SZA. Omar Apollo was going to be the opener.
I forgot about that. 30 under 30s, Forbes, Omar Apollo.
Oh, really? He is?
Random as hell.
Okay. Well, so this was like last year you were working on Lopez versus Lopez. So I went to your place. You, me, and Vat were going to carpool to go to the
Khia Forum.
Khia Asylum Forum. Yeah.
To the Khia Asylum Forum. Not close.
Yeah, not close. And I really wanted to see Omar, but you had to work. Vat was working. And then you very sweetly were like, well, I'm not going to get done on the show for a little bit longer, so you guys go ahead.
Yeah.
So then Vat and I carpool. We get there. We I'm like rushing to see Omar because Vat didn't really care, and so
he doesn't know who that is. So he barely knows who SZA is.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking Khia. I literally could not remember.
Khia actually opened before Omar, but no one cared.
The Khia SZA Forum.
But so I rushed to our seats. Vat's like, I'm actually just gonna go to the bathroom and before SZA comes on. And then, of course, by the time we got there, actually, I had completely missed Omar. And I sat down my seat. Omar's done. I'm like, oh, this is so annoying. And then I'm like, well, that will be back soon. Yeah. 30 minutes are going by. And I'm like, this is a long time. But then I do know that at concerts, specifically like female-centered concerts, they take away the men's restrooms, which I don't know why they do this. I mean, I do know why they do this.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They literally, because if it's like mostly like a female population that's going to see the concert, they'll start changing the signs on the men's to women so that they have more options.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, wait, what about the gays?
Right.
So I was
They're not thinking about the gays who pee faster than anyone.
Yeah, and also, you know what? Don't think about us. You know, we're not worth your time.
Of course not. No.
So I'm like, it must be like he's having to go to the other side of this stadium or the asylum.
Sure, yeah. Meanwhile, I'm texting you guys, sort of giving me updates, and I can't get a read on what either of you are sort of up to. You're speaking as
Very
if
weird.
you've never communicated.
It is very that, and I'm like, okay, he's not coming back. But then 30 minutes go by, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the bathroom because it's getting close to the time that SZA is coming on.
Sure.
As I leave to go, I get a text from Vat that's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just went to the bathroom." Again, and then I start to see that, in fact, I'm like, okay, I can't see any of the bathrooms. It must really be that thing where they've taken away the men's bathroom. I truly think I walk 40 miles to the bathroom. So I'm gone for, I want to say conservatively 4 hours.
Yeah, definitely.
So then I finally make my way back. I get to the seat, and Vat's still not there. And I'm like, this is so weird. So then I text him, "Where are you?" And he goes, "Oh, I decided to go get Greg and I a drink. Do you want anything?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm good." And then then more and more time passes. You're texting us. You're like rushed to get. You're like so nervous that you're not gonna you're gonna miss the first few songs.
Get there in time because you guys had gotten there. I hadn't even left yet. You'd already missed Omar Apollo.
Yeah, and then finally, I'm like texting him because he's still not coming back for the drinks, but he's not responding. And I'm like, this is so weird. I've literally been in the seat alone for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I look, all of a sudden I hear Vat go, "Tim?" And I'm like, huh? I look over and he's like, "What are you doing? Why are you sitting there?" And I'm like, "I'm sitting in our seats." And he goes, "No, you're not. You are." He was like, "We're literally like one section over and 20 rows above." And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "You've inverted the numbers." So for 90 minutes, I was sitting in the wrong section. And I very quickly realized that Vat had, in fact, also given me an edible. And that...
Yeah, you start remembering that later.
I start remembering and I go... And I was like, "How strong was that edible?" And he was like, "Not that strong. It was just 10 milligrams." And I was like, "That... I am used to 2.5.
Yeah, 10's a lot for me.
4 times the amount.
Yeah.
And I slowly put together that I'm pretty sure there was actually like 4 men's bathrooms that I could have gone to. But I was so high.
Yeah.
I didn't know where I was.
You were so high that time literally bent to enable me to get to the concert right as SZA was starting, even though like I left maybe a full 2 hours after you guys.
I still don't understand that. And
no, I don't either.
And I remember too that then you...
I thank your edible for that.
Yeah, and I remember I also thought my experience of the concert was that I was the rowdiest, loudest. I was swaying. I was hooting and hollering. And then I turned to you, I think, as we were walking to the car at the end, and you were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And you're like, "You have been silent for the past 2 hours."
Yeah, when I tell you, you had not so much as said hello to me when I walked in. I mean, just eyes forward, just completely stunned silent.
I'm pretty sure I like had my arms crossed.
Yeah.
My eyes were probably barely open. But in my head, I was like truly throwing my hands up, dancing like crazy.
Sure. You had lost control.
Oh, enough about me. Enough about anything else. How do you make us and me and you all about you?
Oh my God. Well, oh boy. How do I make us all about me?
Yeah.
It's funny that you brought up music.
Okay.
Because I wanted to take it all the way back to the beginning when you and I first met.
Okay, BC.
So, BCS, CVS. Yeah. The first day I sort of walked into CVS, I remember so clearly, obviously the heads were turning.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Who is this barely legal babe?"
Yeah, exactly.
Who's coming to save our network, the #1 most watched network on television for audiences 65 and above.
Yeah, my uncle's favorite.
Sure. But I do remember I was, at my desk, and all of a sudden I hear a swish, swish, swish. The
Swish, swish, bish.
the pitter patter of some gay little business casual feet.
Clomp, clomp, clomp.
Clomping over to my desk, and I look up and I see your face, and I hear, "Hi."
Hey.
I go, "Oh, thank God. Another gay guy who looks older than me."
So this must have been someone else.
Sure.
Yeah. Waiting for me to enter the picture, okay?
Yeah, and you introduced yourself, and I just remember being like, Oh my God, I love him. I love his initiative.
I don't remember that day at all.
I remember you so clearly because that's how it is. Like our desk culture at CBS, like all the assistants were sort of sitting in a bullpen type. Like we were two, like there was my desk, another person's desk attached, and you were like 2 desks behind me. But you came over and you introduced yourself, and I thought, oh, thank God, like. The
world is right.
Yeah, we'll survive. I mean, because then I quickly realized there was a woman who sat very close to me who would chew ice all day, as you know. And I would sort of, some days I could tolerate that.
You didn't hit the jackpot. Like, I had a really good cubicle mate. Or like the person who sat across from me, whereas you necessarily did not.
Sure. And I honor her, and I hope she's well.
Yeah.
Because she needs veneers. But I just remember...
Because you punched her.
But I remember early on in our like relationship, and I knew I liked you right away. And like, you were an early friend. Like, I had truly just moved to LA. And I... really pride myself on my music taste.
You do.
And sort of being like ahead of everything. But I remember early on we were talking about like music, and I would I
would know nothing.
I would slip in like all these people or all these like new artists, and you would sort of, I would never receive like such blank stares coming back from you.
You introduced me to so much. Yeah.
Thank you. That means so much to me. And I just remember so clearly, I said, what type of music do you listen to?
No.
And I was standing over your desk at this point. And this, I will never forget as long as I live. I forget everything everyone says to me.
Oh, no.
And you said, mostly like top 40.
True. It is true. Oh my God.
And I'm sure I gave you such an insanely hard time at the moment.
I think that you actually were speechless. You were just like, oh.
Yeah, mostly like stuff that's on the radio.
Yeah. And I was like still listening to the radio.
Yeah. And I remember thinking, I definitely think I gave you a really hard time, but I remember thinking like, I actually like love this guy because of just the innocence and the honesty and the shamelessness with which you said that to me.
I feel like I like went through a phase of like trying to be. I was just telling this to Anthony the other day where he was like, do you know that song like from the XX? And I was like, everyone in my college was obsessed with the XX. And then I like downloaded the XX and I was like, what is this trash? Sorry for that. But then I was like, and then my journey through college was me realizing that I was like, yeah, I'm trying to make this happen. It's not. And I just have to own that I'm a top 40 girly. I am a Taylor Swift head.
I love that. I love that, and I really admire that about you. Like you're Gaga, which we could agree on. Yeah. You also were very open to like my suggestions too, which I loved.
You introduced me to First Aid Kit. I remember that.
Oh yeah, and London Grammar, big.
And whatever happened to them?
They released music, but it's just not quite what it was. Yeah. And they also never perform here.
I know.
They used when their live shows are incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so funny that you brought up music because that reminds me. And it was like, oh, I actually like love this guy, and it's so the genesis of Miss Thing.
Oh,
like
so
right
much.
there.
Yeah.
It's so mostly top 40 versus me, and sort of like we're always at odds with what we.
It's our relationship at odds.
But it just sort of encapsulates us in a nutshell.
I have a game for you. Are you ready?
Oh my God, an us-themed game, I hope.
Well, it's actually not an us-themed game. I'm so sorry. You would think that it would be an us-themed game.
Sure. An us-themed episode.
No, it's more of a like Miss Thing of the Year episode.
Got it.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah. So this game is called Miss Thing or Oh You Sweet Thing.
Oh. Okay. I'm liking where this is going.
So as someone, one of your personality traits this year has been that you now, for better or for worse, are obsessed with TikTok. You love it. it's as much as you want to deny it, you know that it is, like, at this point, your secondhand.
Yeah, it's sort of not infecting my brain and sort of destroying my entire life from the inside out. Yeah, it's a word of the year, brain rot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I thought, to look back on this year, I'm going to list some popular TikTok trends.
Okay.
And you have to say if they're a miss thing or, oh, you sweet thing.
Sure, I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay, so, and listeners, as someone who's not really on TikTok, I am going to be reading these as if I'm from another planet, and I've actually never heard of these before.
Yeah, and of course, be sure to follow us at Miss Thing the Pod.
Yes, be sure and follow us on Instagram.
Also at Miss Thing the Pod.
Okay, so the first TikTok trend of 2024 was Delulu. And this is a trend where users post very optimistically their takes on hopeless situations. Did you know this?
Well, I've heard of it. Yeah, of course.
Okay, what is...
I would say that's a miss thing. I think you and I...
Delulu.
Are sort of Delulu Personified.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Our debut album, Delulu Personified.
Yeah. Who wants to live in reality? Okay, next one, Tomato Girl aesthetic. This is a fashion trend that uses tomato red to create a fresh summer look.
Oh, you sweet thing. Red is just not my color.
Yeah.
Except, of course, when I make a cranberry curd, I think.
Oh, right.
Then it's gorgeous. And, of course, for the holiday season, but not on TikTok.
Yeah. I don't really understand it, and I don't think I'd ever want to be called the tomato girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no good tomatoes outside of New Jersey.
Well, here we go again.
Yeah. Especially not online.
Online? Oh. Okay, I thought you were doing for a second, this is a total thing we can cut. Like, you know, like, do you say inline or online? Like, when you're like, oh, let me just go wait inline?
I think I say inline.
So do I. And when people say online, I'm like, girl, you're in reality. Like,
girl, you're out of line.
Yeah, you
Get
are.
Get it together.
It's inline. If you're going to go wait online, then, like, click onto your computer.
Yeah, dial up AOL, go online.
Yeah.
No, when we're standing in physical space, we're in line.
Yeah.
Like the lady before.
And if you're, I don't know, if you're British or from another part of the world, sure. But if you are from the United States of America, it's in line.
Yeah.
Get in line.
Right. And then they're queuing up. So that's just its own.
We don't have time for that.
No.
Okay.
We're not Duolingo here.
Duolingo in the Khia Asylum. Next one is pack and order with me.
Pack and order with me?
Yeah, which is like businesses do this and show you how to, like, the packaging behind the product.
Is it almost like wrapping talk? Is it like,
I guess so.
Kind of
so
ASMR?
You haven't heard of this trend, so you need to be more online.
Does it show them like actually packing?
Yeah, it's like almost like the opposite of unboxing.
Interesting. That doesn't surprise me that that's a thing.
It's
There's
good for businesses.
So many strange things on TikTok that you will just watch for hours.
Yeah.
The thing that I'll get stuck in, Vat shows me when the girls who like, they have like bags of crystals basically, and they're like selling them on live, or they're like pulling crystals out of like
such a
buckets of sand. Yeah. And he has no time in it. He's watching
He's doing that. Yeah.
Anyways, we should get into that business.
Okay, this is the one to me that I think I would follow down this rabbit hole, which is
by the way, actually no, that's Miss Thing.
Oh, okay.
That's a Miss Thing.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
If it feels kind of cozy to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Sleepy Girl mocktail.
Know all about this. The tart cherry juice and the magnesium. Absolutely Miss Thing. We tried it. Doesn't taste great.
And also, like, Olipop probiotic, I guess, is the other thing, because it's, like, good for gut health and also helps you to... I don't know.
Oliver Pop, let's call it. And
Oliver Pop twist.
Oliver Pop twist. I am all about Sleepy Girl mocktail. That's a Miss Thing. The Olipop.
You're
kind of jumping on a trend there. You sweet thing.
If I took a Sleepy Girl mocktail, I don't think I would wake up. I am so susceptible to anything sleepy. Like, if I take a NyQuil, I'm out for 4 days.
I feel like the Sleepy Girl mocktail is like one of those things you sort of have to like build to almost.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like I don't remember really sleeping too hard, but I have tried it.
I took a magnesium pill once and then like almost broke both my legs and my arms getting to the bathroom in the whole night. I was so drugged. Like I'm so susceptible to it. Like I woke up and I was stumbling. I like hit the door frame. Like Anthony was like worried that he was like, did you take something else? I'm like, no, you gave me like 2 magnesium pills, which was the serving size, but I should have had like half of one. And then like almost literally fell and like hit my head when I was peeing. Like I honestly am like wondering if I was drunk.
Yeah, that sounds kind of like
no. I'm just very susceptible. Like I don't take any sleep aids because I will just not to brag.
You
but
do
this,
sort of
this body is a temple.
Of
you know?
of course, and we should issue a warning to the Gennifer Zs and Inertias to be very careful when taking magnesium.
Oh right, yes,
of course, yeah.
And we are clinical doctors.
Yeah, be careful with that.
The song Diet Pepsi by Addison Rae.
Miss Thing. Inject that song into my veins. I don't know how that wasn't on my Spotify Wrapped because I listened to it over and over and over and over and yet nowhere to be found.
Honestly, that is the song of the year. Diet Pepsi.
Not to mention,
I know.
I think this is a Coke product, but I've gotten back into diet sodas this year on this pod.
Because of me.
Yes, it's a horrible
That's my
habit.
contribution to your life.
To my health and well-being.
Truly, I mean, did you see also recently she like clearly hires paparazzi to take photos of her when she does gas, and there's like a photo of her
with the picnic table.
And like, tape over her breast.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we want.
That is, I mean, that's so us. That's so us in 2025.
Maybe that should be our next season's promo art.
Calling the paparazzi.
and wearing a picnic table dress with black X's over our nipples.
I think that's great. Like a pap shoot.
A pap shoot.
Yes.
While getting a pap schmear. And eating schmear. Okay.
Love that.
Cranberry curd schmear. Okay, and then the last one is A Bar Song Tipsy by Shaboozey.
Listen, I'm going to have to say Miss Thing because it's apparently been the number one song in the world for 20 weeks.
Never heard it.
Not even a note. But I do love the name Shaboozey.
I was going to say, I think it's like the reason for me why I like it not having heard it once is it's really fun to say A Bar Song Tipsy by Shaboozey. Alexa, play.
Apps. That's the thing. I mean, the way that rolls off the tongue, like, I believe it. I don't need to hear the song.
Yeah.
I know of it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's heard the song. It's Industry Plant City. But I do.
Everyone, if you're watching this on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, please comment below and let us know. Have you actually heard? Have you heard A Bar Song Tipsy by Shaboozey?
Yeah. And if you have, please if you claim you have, let us know a single lyric. in the comments. I would imagine it's tipsy in parentheses. They probably say it a lot.
Yeah.
Assuming there is a song recorded.
I would assume, I hope that Shaboozey also says in the background of the song at some point, goes like, Shaboozey. You know, like,
it's just everybody in the club getting tips. Now everybody in the club getting tips.
Shaboozey. Okay, and that's the game.
Love it. Oh my god.
So long.
That game was a Miss Thing.
Yeah.
And a little Oh You Sweet Thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I appreciate that. Monster Truck Rally outside.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's been an absolute gaga.
That's Lady Gaga saying hi to us. Yeah. And with that, let's take a break.
Yeah. Welcome back. And it is time for our final Diva Down of 2024. And this is sort of like an overall, like a Diva Down of the year as well. Diva Down, of course, is our segment where we talk about the person, place, or thing that currently needs our advice, whether they want it or not. And our Diva Down of 2024
is America.
The country, the idea, the physical
everything
space.
surrounding it. It's just been not a good year.
Sure.
For the country that we live in.
Yeah.
It is, the direction it is heading is just scary, sad, bad, nothing good.
Yeah. America's not feeling like a missed thing right now. And yeah, so it just want to say, had a great run.
Yeah.
It's, you have certainly, you've shown your light and it might be dimming at the moment. And, we may need to be in Canada or London soon filming our show about Portofino.
Well, it's funny because it sounds like she really stressed that I was going to be by my own. So you will be, maybe you're in Canada while I'm in London and vice versa.
Yeah, we are partners.
Yeah.
Despite whenever I sort of bring up, doing a project together, non-miss thing, you sort of go, no.
We are currently we're going to write a book.
Totally.
You see, that's sort of your no. You're like, sure, I guess. It's like, you're like a book.
Yeah, and we need to move to Canada or London for that. But yeah, I mean, my advice to America is, I would say, read a book while you can before they're all banned.
Before they're burned.
Yeah, because I think I'm done learning your lessons for you. You're going to have to sort of do your own research, as you sort of love to say.
No, but it's like, I don't want to be a part of the consequences of other people being dumb.
Totally.
My advice is for all of us, batten down the hatches because it's only going to get worse.
Sure.
I'm nervous for 2025. I'm trying to be positive, but I don't feel that America is going to thrive next year or really for the next 4 years. And my advice to all of the listeners out there is to get through this tough, scary, hard time.
I know where you're going with this.
Listen to Miss Thing.
Miss Thing, yeah.
Just, this will provide you some warmth, some comfort, some laughs.
Yeah.
And you can get it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Anywhere you get your podcast. On YouTube, you can watch it. You know what? We are here for you. We're all in this together, and we love to laugh and we love to honor our missed things, the missed things whose lights keep shining through it all.
Yeah. And we just also want to say thank you for listening all year long with us. We're only going to bring you more, bigger, and better episodes.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you have in store for you guys next year.
You don't even know. We have it all mapped out.
Yeah.
Start to finish. We know everything that's going to happen. Just wait until
we know what's going to happen in 2030 on the pod.
Yeah, we talked to Pam. Pam.
And you actually told Pam. You were like Pam, actually, I know more.
Actually, Pam, I need to be here.
Yeah.
Sort of making sure that all my predictions are coming true for 2025. And just wait. We're going to do a big psychic episode next year where we predict everything that's to come.
Yeah. That's going to be one to tune in for.
Of course.
Make sure to hit subscribe, like, comment, 5 stars and above.
Yeah.
On all platforms.
Yeah. And we love you, our Jennifers and Inertias. We would be nothing without you. We wouldn't exist without you. And of course, Cynthia.
Oh, Cynthia. Happy New Year, Cynthia.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to all the Gennifer Zs.
Of course. And Inertias.
And Inertias. And we'll see you next year.
See you next year.
Bye.
Miss Thing Podcast is created, executive produced, and hosted by Greg Trimmer and Tim Zintek.
It's produced and edited by Benji Simons, with cover art and additional creative support by Claude Zines.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Miss Thing the Pod.
New episodes drop every Tuesday. Watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, but only raves. Strictly 5 stars and above.
Follow Greg at Greg Trimmer and Tim at Tim_Zintek on all social media.
BONK.